On November 8th, the Halo Infinite Winter Update will arrive, bringing out a new 30-tier free Battle Pass for all players. The Winter Update is essentially Season 2.5 and will include all of the missing Reach items that were never released during Season 1, and hopefully some other stuff too. In today's video, I want to talk about the items that we should see in the pass, the ones that I think might not make the cut, and also some other stuff we could see during the Winter Update. Before we do jump in though, I just want to clarify that yes, I am very disappointed in parts of the roadmap. Yesterday in my video I referred to it as a mixed bag, and I still stand by this. Although there's a lot of things that disappointed me, there's also a lot of things that I do think are pretty cool and I am looking forward to them. It's completely fine if you do not like the roadmap, if you don't like the state that the game's in, or if you don't like 343, that's fine. However, I just don't share the same opinion. I still find Infinite fun to play, and I am still looking forward to these updates. I'm very annoyed about some of the delays and cancellation of features, but there's still things for me personally to look forward to. Anyway, with all that out of the way, let's jump straight in. First of all, there's a few things that I think need to be said about this 30-tier pass. It should be including all of the missing Reach items, or at least we think it's going to be all of them. Now, I do think some of them won't be included, but will still be unlocked for free in other ways. Also, I believe this pass is permanent. It will never go away since it is referred to as a battle pass, not an event pass. The only 30-tier ones we've had before were fractures, and they were part of events. This does not refer to itself as a fracture or anything along those lines. It says it is a battle pass, so I can't see any reason why it would disappear. I've also seen some people say this is sort of a cash grab to get people to buy Season 1. This isn't really true, as all players will be given the Mark 5B core for free. This is definitely a bit of goodwill on 343's behalf, as a lot of people were annoyed that you had to buy the battle pass for that core. I've also seen some people get angry about this, as they believe that now the Season 1 battle pass would be a waste of money. But the only thing that is being made free that wasn't before is the armor core. Rikshasa is free in Season 2, but people don't say that Season 2 battle pass isn't worth it just because the armor core is free. At the end of the day, there's still a lot of other stuff in the battle pass that makes that worth it, such as Emil's helmet or the Mark 6. So you did not waste your money by buying the Season 1 Battle Pass. It is only the default core that is being made free with all of the unreleased / new items. Speaking of the new items, here is a concept created by Doncut97. He's tried his best to include all of the items here, and since there is more than 30, it's definitely sort of intriguing to know how 343 is going to include them all, if they will. This isn't every item I believe that we know is coming out for that core. I think the ones that are missing are the wolf head shoulder pads. There might be some other stuff too, but I'm not entirely sure. But for the most part, it seems like everything's here, including the Noble Drifter and Noble Offensive armor coatings. He's also included some challenge swaps and double XP boosts, which I think would make sense for this. We know this is going to be the same time that 343 are testing match XP, so it'll finally be nice to use some of the 70 double XP boosts that I have, and hopefully there is some challenge swaps included, because I find I run out of them very quickly when most of the challenges really suck. One thing that I definitely think is a very good decision is including most of the shoulder pads on one tier. As you can see, both the Recon ones are on the same tier, both the CQC ones. The fact that 343 hasn't done this with their battle pass kind of annoys me. At the end of the day, I feel like shoulder pads should sort of be looked at as one item for both shoulder, rather than separating them. It makes more sense that they come together. Now, although this concept is great and I think is the most ideal version of this pass, I don't necessarily think it is going to look entirely like this. We know there is 4 unreleased helmets, this being CQB, CQC, JFO and the Mark 5, and I only think 3 of those will be included. That is down to the promo images, none of them showing off JFO. Since there is 3 helmets, I reckon we're going to get a helmet every 10 tiers. Starting with CQB, then CQC, and finishing off with the Mark 5. I still think JFO will be free. There is the possibility that it will be a shop bundle, but I don't think it will be. I think that would really make fans even angrier at 343, but I'll talk about that in a moment. I do think most of the stuff here will be included, maybe not 1 or 2 of the coatings, maybe some of the shoulder pads won't be, and I think they'll be saved for other things during this time period. Since this is an extra 4 months, we're going to need new ultimate rewards for this time frame. Some of these Reach items might be selected for ultimate rewards instead, which I know that does sort of have the whole FOMO element, but at least they'd still be free. I mean, if we got JFO as an ultimate reward, you know damn well most players are going to grind for that. I think the Wedgwood Spriggan, Violet Crush and Moa Assault coatings will all be part of the free pass, but Noble Drifter and Noble Offensive, they might be ultimate rewards. Most of the shoulder pads, I can't see why they wouldn't be included. Same with some of the helmet attachments, although again, I think some of the helmet attachments may be a visor or two. I think some of them will be Ultimate Rewards as well. I also think during this 4-month period, that's when we're more than likely going to see Season 1 bundles start to return, especially ones like Hazip and the other Reach-related bundles. But any Reach items that aren't released in this pass, I believe will be included in the 2 new events during the winter period. These being Winter Contingency 2 and also Joint Fire. I think these would be good additions. It's possible that they'll include new items, but I think for the most part they're going to just include unreleased stuff since it is still technically a part of Season 2. Winter Contingency will most likely release those unreleased Christmas items such as the snowman helmets, the Santa hat, etc. And Joint Fire might include even more of the Reach stuff. And I think JFO might be a part of one of these events. But again, we can't rule out the possibility that some of these items will be Ultimate Rewards. The only unreleased item for the Reach Coil I think will definitely, without a doubt, be on the shop is the Wolf shoulder pads. Everything else, especially the stuff that were actually from Reach, I would see being free in some capacity, whether that is an Ultimate Reward, whether or not it's through this Reach Pass, or from one of the new events. I think that is how every single one of those will be acquired. But anything that is technically new might be a part of the shop, including some of the knee pads and the wolf shoulders. Anyway, I am excited for this pass. I'm really excited to finally get my hands on the Mark V. It feels like we have waited forever to finally get these unreleased Reach cosmetics, and it's great to know they're finally coming to the game, and they're going to be completely free. Again, they're making the Mark V core free, so if you never brought Season 1, if you don't want to spend any money on the game, you're finally going to get way more options with cosmetics, and this pass should be available forever, so you're not going to miss out anytime soon. This is definitely a good thing for some friends of mine too, since like they don't play the game super often. It'll be cool that they'll actually have some other cosmetics to use. And for me, I'm just sort of glad to have a reason to play and to grind the game again. I hate the challenge system, but I do really love unlocking new cosmetics through the battle pass when I feel like I'm progressing, and now that we're going to have like actual match-based XP, that's going to be even better. And since some of these cosmetics are going to be some of the coolest ones in the game, it gives me even more of a reason to sort of be a little bit hyped for them. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on this down in the comments. Are you excited for the free pass or the winter update? I know it really does suck that Season 3's been delayed, but I guess the way that I'm looking at the winter update is essentially Season 2.5. It is kind of like a mini season in between seasons. It will be coming with new content, it's coming with new things to look forward to. Not necessarily enough to last a 4-month period, although when you consider Forge is going to be there, I think Forge will more than enough make up for it. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. I'm curious to hear what everyone has to say. Just keep it civil down there. Not everyone has to like the update, and that's completely fine, but at the same time, if people do like it, don't get mad at them. It's unnecessary and it doesn't really affect you at all. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.